Hey, I'm Rebecca Reinerson, and I'm going to be talking to you all today about classroom management.
Well, you know what I think? I think we should talk about how Miss Riderson is being a cheapskate. Yeah, she didn't even get real puppets for this show. Yeah, and what's worse, she didn't even give us eyes. How in the world are we supposed to manage our classroom when we can't even see it?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a minute. You guys are the students today, and I'm sorry that I didn't get real puppets or real eyes. I don't really have those today, so we're just going to have to make do without them, okay? All right. Okay. This is Susan and this is Jack, and they're going to be helping us today. Say hello.
Hello.
All right. Well, the first thing about classroom management that we need to understand is be enthusiastic. Make sure your students know that you're happy to be there and that you're happy to have them with you. Imagine how different it would be if you walked into the classroom and your teacher said, hello, or hello, how are you? It makes a big difference. Your students need to understand that you're glad that they're there and that you think that they're valuable.
Oh, yeah? Well, what about that saying that says you're not supposed to smile at your students till Christmas? What about that?
Well, there's some validity to that. But there's some validity to that, but there are also ways to make sure that your students know that you're glad that they're there, and maintain order at the same time.
Okay.
Being enthusiastic means that you do whatever you do with everything that you've got. So if I want my students to do their best in their studies, then I need to make sure that I'm doing my best in my teaching. And that can mean using different voices for different things, creating different vocal inflections, being entertaining, an actress, and leaving whatever weariness or grumpiness that I may have at the door when I enter the classroom. I walk in, I'm no longer Rebecca Reinerson, I'm Miss Reinerson, their teacher, and I'm excited to be there. The next thing I need to do is make sure that I'm prepared to teach at all times. Idle moments are dangerous, and I do not want my students to hurt themselves when they're bored. And idle moments also say that I don't care. I do not want such things to happen in my classroom. So I've got a little thing to show you right now. I'm supposing that I'm a teacher and these are my students, and I'm not ready to teach them. I'm going to be going to a different part of the classroom. I might even have my back turned, which is a big no. If I want to make sure my students understand how to behave, I need to make sure that my eyes are on them pretty much the entire time. But if I'm not ready, then my eyes aren't on them, and they can pretty much do whatever they want to.
What do you think Miss Riderson's doing? She's getting her stuff together. Okay. All right. I'm bored. You're broccoli. What? I don't know. What? What did you do that for?
All of a sudden, I have a classroom management problem. And you know what? That problem wouldn't have been there if I had kept my students busy in the first place. Another thing that a good teacher needs to do is to create good, high expectations. Hey, Jack.
Yes.
Remember when you asked me about teachers not smiling till Christmas?
Yes.
Well, this is how teachers can be happy to have their students there, but they can also make sure that their students run all over them by creating good expectations, reviewing them often, and using nonverbal communication to make sure that those students are doing what they're supposed to do. See?
Oh, yeah, I see. She was watching me. She gave me the look. Yeah, she sure did. Are you scared? A little bit. Okay. I think I'm gonna cry.
No, you don't need to cry, but just remember, we don't need to be running around like that, okay? All right, no running in the classroom. So, and you also need to make sure that you be consistent. Different schools use different techniques for keeping a voice level down. And so make sure that whatever ways you have of teaching your students, that you make sure that it's the same throughout the year. That could also become a bigger problem if you've taught for quite a while and used a multiplicity of resources. So make sure you use the same things. Finally, I just want to make sure that I'm always reflective as a teacher, that I'm journaling constantly, and that I don't forget what I've learned. I don't want to ever forget from where I came. My first year as a teacher, I taught 3 classes of 3-year-olds. It was a mess. I didn't know anything about classroom management. Well, I knew some things, but a whole lot of my schooling has been a big help since that first year. When I thought I was the worst teacher in the world, I was pretty good considering I hadn't really received any formal training. Um, I look back on that time and I'm so grateful that I had it because I realized that even when things were really, really bad, I still loved being a teacher and I still loved instilling knowledge into people younger than myself. And so that's one thing that I always want to remember. Why do I teach? Because I love to. And one thing I learned when I was teaching was that I didn't know everything. I don't think I thought that I knew everything, but I realized then that I really didn't know a whole lot. So at the end of the year, I quit my job and um, I I came to EKU and I started taking lessons or lessons. I started learning how to become a teacher. Those two people there are my grandparents. They're the ones who encouraged me so much during my first year as a teacher, and I was able to live with them while I was doing that. It was a very special time, and a time I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. So, to recap, all right, guys, y'all tell me what you've learned today.
Well, you should be enthusiastic. Yeah, your children want to know that you're happy to see them.
Yes.
But you should be consistent and make sure they know what you want of them. Yeah, they should know what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and you should remind them often enough so that they don't forget.
That's right.
Anything else? I don't know. Do you remember anything else? No, I don't.
Well, let's take a look back. Let's see, we created expectations. We're prepared to teach.
Oh yeah, you gotta make sure you're always prepared to teach. I don't moment say that you don't care.
You're reading the PowerPoint.
Yes, I am. Okay. How did you do that? You don't even have any eyes.
Okay. Shh. So make sure that we're ready to teach, and we make sure that we're enthusiastic. We do whatever we do with everything we have so that our students will too. And that's everything for today. I'm your host, Rebecca Reinerson, and that is all. Good night.